Hello? What the Pokemon Dark Rising's a Fire Red ROM hack made by a person who goes by Dark Rising Girl. The first post was on the Pokemon community forums back in 2012. At the time, a lot of people knew about this ROM hack. Over 1 million hits and views on YouTube. This ROM hack was made over 10 years ago and it's probably one of the worst ROM hacks of all time, but it's still in the minds of a lot of people. Looking at the original thread and going off of my own memory, you can see that there was a beta before they released the full game. You can also see in the thread that she was very communicative when it came to anything about the game. Glitches, things to add, things to take out, things to improve on, whatever it was that had to do with the game, she was there to talk to you about it. Most of the people were pretty positive about the game and continued to give their support for the game as the days went on. A lot of content creators had a big come up from playing this game back in the day. Before talking about this game, I didn't think there would be much to look at for the most part. I thought this was something that was just put out there by someone random and then disappeared from the net. What I got instead was this whole rabbit hole of content that I would have never imagined it existing before going into this project. This series has its own website, a Discord, a wiki, and a Twitter. It's crazy that all of this not only stood the test of time, but was built off the back of a team of people that made a questionably bad ROM hack. It's mighty impressive, I have to say. Even the ROM hack itself has a lot of signs of a massive amount of effort that it took to get this made and put out there. But the amount of quality in this hack is not even close to the amount of effort that was put into it. In this video, I'm going to show you the majority of the game, showing you the good of the game, the bad in the game, and also telling you what could have been improved on for this game to have been a more pleasant experience. So, the game starts you out in a dream, where you the player is talking to the god himself, Arceus. Arceus? I'm gonna be real, I don't know which one it is, it doesn't matter. Apparently the Pokemon's in trouble and only a person pure of heart can save it. Ah shit, it's one of these, huh? After naming the player and rival, you wake up from the dream and head downstairs to get them good old running shoes from mom. You go outside and you see the rival. He tells you that Professor Ivan wants to see the two of you. Is Ivan a type of tree? Yeah, we'll run with that. You see the professor and he tells you that strange things are happening in the area, and because of that, the delivery men cannot do their job at all. Hopefully their jobs are under union in this world. After this lame ass joke, he gives you and your rival a starter. Haha, Boomer can't use phone by the way. Covers his eyes with his hand? Yeah, this game finds the need to tell you every physical action these characters are doing, as if it was like a visual novel or some shit. I know this is an old ROM hack thing, because most of them do it in the past. I just hope this is not a thing nowadays. You have a choice between Dratini, Bagon, and Kibble? These are probably the most broken starters anyone could ask for. And even with these starters, this game is still ridiculously hard. I chose Gibble because who in their right fucking mind wouldn't? And then you battle the rival right afterwards. The battle starts and a text box pops up. Arceus, it doesn't matter. He's calling you right now and he's teaching you how to... Is this a tutorial? Really? Roger. It even tells you that the Pokemon faints when it hits 0. Listen, not even modern day Pokemon is this nasty. I pushed the rival shit in and now it's time to start the adventure. So I go around and talk to the NPCs in town. I made it a mission to talk to at least the majority of the NPCs in this game. I feel like NPCs are the most forgotten aspect in most RPGs, and most people fail to see how important they are. NPCs, when done well, should be a tool used to reward the player's curiosity. There are a few NPC concepts that are pretty interesting in this ROM hack. For example, the Nurse Joys in this game. Instead of Nurse Joy healing the Pokemon in this game, now you can actually battle them. The assistant is the one that heals you in this game. I found myself looking forward to a lot of the Pokemon Center visits because of this. Some NPCs here and there also trigger Pokemon battles, and I'm always a fan of brawling out in the middle of the fucking building. However, some NPCs are janky. Sometimes mid-conversation an NPC will walk away from me like it's Skyrim or some shit. Some NPCs straight up crash the game if you even look at them. I lost so much progress because of that kind of dumb shit. Speaking of dumb shit, a majority of the NPCs say dumb shit a majority of the time. The annoying thug slapped my butt when I passed by. And then the character laughs at it. Oh my god, brother. You're really rolling the die when you're talking to one of these, so have fun. So, I start heading north of the first town and I end up at a school. She was your teacher when you used to go to the school, and now she wants to battle you so she could show her students how to really Pokemon battle and to also see how much you've grown as a person. Roselia? This shit should be easy.
Absolutely charged! Get!
What's the fucking that?
I'm fucking losing my fucking mind.
To be honest, I actually like the mood this battle sets up, even to go as far as to wish the mainline games did this. A battle like this easily shows you at times that a decent strategy can actually pay off. Just using your best attack may not always work. Sometimes doing a little cookie cutting might net you a better reward. You as the player can immediately see that just attacking might not be enough at times. Not because someone told you anything, but because you saw for yourself firsthand. At this point, it's the player's choice to grind and try again or not. It's optional. Later on though, you'll soon see that grinding is the only way you could do anything in this game. Walking around a little, you start to see the encounters in the area. And with this, I want to segue into the kind of Pokemon in this game. This game came around when Gen 5 was the new kid on the block. Tons of Pokemon from both Gen 4 and 5 are in this ROM hack. Not all of them though. The game only has this amount of Pokemon, which meant a lot of Pokemon were either left out or replaced. Bring back the national decks, you know what I'm saying? Dumb joke aside, it's obvious that it was because of actual space limitations. It's no biggie. The selection of Pokemon is pretty cool. Some of the best of the Gen 5 is in this game. So what's the problem? To start, a good chunk of them are more or less good or just downright awful.
Oh my god.
Lack of the physical special split means that a lot of newcomers are not as optimal as they could be or pretty unplayable. My favorite Pokemon, Weavile, is just plain terrible in this game. Ice and Dark are both special attacks in this game, and its special attack stat is dog shit. Honchkrow, Volcarona, Chandelure, and many others are just very suboptimal because of this. There's some breadwinners like Hydreigon, but overall, most of the Pokemon feel kinda weak in this game. Not a negative on the game though. A lot of old ROM hacks tend to use the old Gen 3 system mechanics back in the day, so there's not much you can do about it. But it would be nice to probably change some things to circumvent this. For example, you can reverse Weavile's physical attack and special attack so that way it can use ice and dark type moves more optimally. A lot of the routes in this game tend to have multiple generations of Pokemon in the grass. To some, it can seem bloated at times, to be just bombarded by every water type under the sun. To others, you can have a lot more freedom to make your dream team in the game. The freedom in this game, however, is just an illusion. The pacing is so bad in this game. You're just better off using only a certain pool of Pokemon in this game. Going through this path leads you to one of the characters that pops up in the game a lot, Pete. He wants to battle you because you got your first Pokemon, so you might want to do what these games do most. Did this so exciting? Oh my lord. Trust me, you get used to these errors to the point where that you can't help but just laugh at the majority of them. After that battle, you enter a cave with a bunch of Drillburs and Timbers. Again, do not fall for the trap. I'll explain in better detail down the line. At the end of the cave, you get in the way of another rival in this game. She asks if you have any clue on who or what Darugis is. The main character faintly remembers the name, but is not sure why, which prompts the rival to battle you, because she thinks you're part of the problem. Real power. Level 12 Axu, by the way. After you beat her, you dip and now you're about to leave the cave. Or not? Is this a shop? The shop is in a cave? I mean, it's not too far out there, but the placement is questionable at best. You pick up whatever the professor asks you to get. I'm not gonna lie, I low-key forgot what it was. Head out the cave and you're greeted with this. Apparently the main character wants to battle the two because they look very strong and that you and your partner can just handle anything cause, you know, power friendship or whatever. Even though you just got this Pokemon like 10 minutes ago, by the way.
Oh my god.
What the fuck is that?
Damn, I'm impressed and disgusted with this sprite at the same time. When battling opponents like this, simply attacking will not lead to victory. Use strategy to overcome him. Go forth with your Pokemon and triumph.
Alrighty then.
I got washed. How you gonna have this Pokemon come down and talk to me as if I could win this fight? What the fuck? Anyways, after that, you end up back home with Pete and the mom's checking to see if you're fine. After a few words, you go back to the laboratory and you give the professor the package that he sent you to get. This package is apparently from Professor Oak.
Huh?
Yeah, this game has a few cameos here and there. The other kid comes back and now the professor gives both you and the rival a Pokédex and some Pokeballs. And with that, I can finally start the journey in this game. The first area is the Twist Woods. Now, if I was to be honest, this looks really ugly. Personally, my eyes cannot stand random patches of grass placement. It's just all over the place and I get lost just looking at maps like this. At this point in the game, I'm only using one Pokemon and I plan not to have any other Pokemon for a very long time. At the end of the forest is a gang of dark thugs. Their master, Darugus, sent them here to take over the village. Why? I make my way to Tiki village afterwards, the first town after the hometown. Most of the NPCs here talk about the world, which is very important for any creative work. I spoke on this before, but one of the more interesting NPCs in this game is Nurse Joy. I think the idea of fighting every Nurse Joy you come across is just a really cool concept. To add on top of that, entering the first center nets you a Muna from an NPC. You save the town, so they figure they might as well give you one. Thanks for the Muna. Let me just put it in the trash, I mean box where it belongs. One of the NPCs in one of the houses is up for a battle if you're down for it. So far, nothing terrible. Shoddy map making, weird sprites, dumb dialogue, it's whatever. Nothing to label the game bad, just it's okay so far. My gibble was a good bite, by the way. I left the town to continue my progress, but I forgot to pick up some items from the shop, and then this happened. Hello? Up north, there's a house with a person that wants to trade a Larvesta for an Abra. Larvesta the god? No problem. I saw a few on the way here. Shit's a bitch to catch, but I did it.
What the fuck is that?
Jolly? Brother, and it always comes jolly too. I went through 4 stages of grief in a matter of seconds. Low-key though, this Pokemon is probably not even good in this game. Bug is physical and this is a special one. The worst part is I don't even know if it gets Quiver Dance or not. You still have fire moves, so I guess, but the fact that it's a jolly nature holds it back so much it's not even worth using. Try to leave the route and Pete is right around the corner. He left home so he could travel the world too. He wants to just prove himself to himself? I don't know what he has to prove to himself, but if you beat him in a battle, he'll just go back home. I washed him. Lava Burn Forest is the next area, and with that, I want to speak on the map of this world. Not gonna lie, it's on some Mario Land shit. The geography of this map is insane. Lava Land, Iceland, Desert Land, Ghost Land, even a Toy Land. None of it flows together well at all, and it becomes pretty predictable on what Pokemon to expect. You see, every patch of grass, depending on the area, has the whole type in it. For example, Lava Burn has Houndour, Growlithe, Charmander, Cyndaquil, Torkoal, Ponyta, Vulpix, and Darumaka. Whatever the fuck. That's 8 Pokemon in one round, and they never pop up again. The whole game is like this. Patches of grass with several different Pokemon.
Damn, Tina!
It's too much for my taste. It's a bit overwhelming to already throw this many Pokemon in the player's face. I think the Pokemon could have been placed a little better. To be honest, at the end of the day, not that many Pokemon in these patches of grass are even worth catching because of the pacing issue that creeps up on this ROM hack really soon. Compare the amount of Pokemon you see up until this point to Pokemon Emerald. Before the first gym, these are the Pokemon you have a chance of seeing. Now these are the Pokemon you have a chance of seeing before the first gym in Dark Rising. Who wouldn't be tempted to have a whole team at this point?
No, don't do it. Please don't do it.
Stay your hand and don't catch shit. Moving on, right outside the forest is another battle. A man approaches the player saying that the player is the child of Blake, who is apparently your dad. He says he's gonna sacrifice your dad and then send you to the underworld because he refuses to take chances like he did 27 years ago.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
The fact that he remembered how many years to the T looks so goofy written out, it's hard to take any of it seriously. Cyrus Sprite, by the way. I OCV his team, and he claims I'm not even worth the trouble because I'm not as strong as my dad?
Okay,
What happened to not taking chances? Damn, not even at the first gym, and I can already tell the writing's gonna make me hurl. His name is V, by the way, and then he just disappears. Finally, a town with a gym that you can enter. Unless, nah, you can't go there yet. First, you have to stop off at a lab. Why do you need to stop at the lab?
Why am I even here right now?
Who knows? Some old person takes you as Blake's kid. How does he know just from looking at you?
Yes!
Who knows? He never says. Apparently, he worked with your dad in the past, and one of the things your dad told him to do was to never tell his children about the truth. And right after telling you that, he disobeys your dad's wishes and bets the truth on a Pokemon battle.
Hello?
This is a reoccurring thing. Whenever an NPC approaches you, chances are they're gonna want a battle. And it happens at the worst possible times too. After the battle, he starts to tell you that your dad was part of a team. The Avengers.
Tonight, I am Lady Haha.
Anyways, he starts talking about the Rugus and the fact that he broke some kind of seal that imprisoned him. It's also possible that he kidnapped your dad because he was the only one who can seal him in this lore. Now, apparently, only one trainer can stop him. Ash Ketchum. Yes, this game doesn't use in-game canon, but anime canon. Finally, the first gym. Almost level 30, by the way. Heatmore the Ace, level 20? After the gym battle, you go to the next route, which is raining non-stop. You see a guy with red hair and a group of thugs. They start to move out the way and down the path. A few trainers sprinkled here and there, and the grass patch is out of the way and not all over the route. Level 14, level 15. This route is not as bad as other routes, but there comes a point in the game where that gym leaders will have, let's say, level 60 Pokemon, and then the trainers in the routes will have like level 30 to 40. It's insane. This ice gym, by the way. Oh, that's terrible for Garchomp. Is that a Mamoswine? At 68? Bro, what? What is this? What is this level scaling? Damn, that's crazy. If I actually leveled up other Pokemon and not focused on these two, I would have been under leveled as fuck. Down the path is that lady again. It's the kid who I mistakenly thought to be nothing more than a vassal for evil monster?
Don't ever fix your lips to say that.
Jesus Christ, what kind of writing is this? I really can't tell if this is a joke or not. I feel like a better way to write this out without it sounding so weird is by having the character say something like, "Ah, you're the puppet from earlier." It's quick and it's snarky. The original line is just a mouthful. My suggestion only works if the first interaction wasn't so awkward and forced, but you get what I mean. Goodbye washes the whole team, but her ace was level 26?
How, Sway?
That's way higher than the gym leader, which by the way was only like 10 minutes ago. And besides from that, I'm only level 32. Goodbye is hogging all the experience, yet somehow the game is slowly creeping up on me.
That's weird.
The next area is a cave and it has rain in it. This cave is full of every water type and dynamos. To be honest, I like the idea. I can imagine it raining because of the stalagmites dripping with water in the cave. And gameplay wise, the Pokemon in this cave can actually wear you down. Since it's raining, their water moves get a 50% boost. So that means you're probably gonna have to bring some items to get through this cave in one go. Most of the caves and dungeons in Pokemon don't really do much. So the fact that this one tries to do something makes it stick to my mind better than the ones in the mainline games. The whole time I was in the cave, I had this strange sense of like familiarity. Like I've been here before, but I wasn't sure until I got to the point where you get a fossil. That's when I realized that this cave is actually just Mount Moon with rain in it. I'm not sure if this is a callback or not at this point, but I do know that a lot of old ROM hacks tend to reuse the old locations.
I'm telling y'all too.
Right outside the cave, it's the guy who was blocking the way earlier. You have to battle him because he has something to do with the thugs.
Hey, you see a girl with blue hair, tell her KO said hello.
Bitch, if I want to, I will.
Down the way is this building, and it has this girl inside that's willing to trade one of the best Pokemon you could get in this game.
It's Vulpix!
It's Vulpix. How? Alright, so to start, this Vulpix has Drought. So as soon as you throw it out, you get the Sun. This is also pre-nerf Drought, so that Sun is probably going to stay out for the rest of the battle. The second thing I want to talk about is Nasty Plot. You can sweep through the majority of this game just by doing Nasty Plot and Flamethrower with the power of the sun. And the third reason is that it's a trade mod. If for some weird reason you wanted to play this game, the only Pokemon you should invest your time into is any Pokemon you got from a trade. The EXP gains and curves in this ROM hack are garbage. Trainers will always have Pokemon way under leveled, meanwhile the boss trainers will have over leveled Pokemon. The only way you can actually keep up with these curves without grinding is by keeping your team small, while having the small team consist of like just nothing but trade mods. This puts you in this weird situation that if you want to play this game as optimally possible, you cannot use Pokemon that you would like to use until a certain point in the game. Even then, it might not even be worth the grind because most of the Pokemon in the later areas are much higher level than anything in the mid or the beginning of the game. The last and final reason the Vulpix is probably the best Pokemon you can ask for in this game is Zen Headbutt. You see, Zen Headbutt is really broken in this game, and the only reason why it's that good is because the flinch chance is 100%.
How's about that? It seems like it's my turn again.
If you go first, which you probably can because it has 100 base speed,
Fast as fuck, boy.
and probably is going to get a ton of speed EVs throughout the whole game, you can stun lock most trainers in this game until death or until you miss. When I first played this ROM hack many years ago knowing this, I deleted the move for Psychic because I thought it was too broken for the game. Little did I know of the horrors that this game had in store for me. You're gonna need this move and you're gonna need this Vulpix. Down the stairs you walk down, you find a path that goes to Max. Yeah, that Max from the anime. He says he wants to train here to be stronger than the evil teams going around the region. It's an optional challenge battle that you can do whenever you want. I like the idea of a trainer in the area every now and then having Pokemon much stronger than yours. The point of these kind of fights are not really to grind to be on their level for the challenge, it's just to see if you can beat the challenge with the tools you have now. It's a neat idea and I wish more games did this kind of thing, especially more ROM hacks.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Going down the route, you find a trainer under Darugia's control. I think this is an OC gym leader from another creator's game and region, but I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't matter because he never pops up again.
Finally!
I'm finally at the next city. You walk around the city a bit and you get information that a well-known Pokemon breeder named Brock is rampaging around the city. It's really hard to say that with a straight face. Before I do anything with Brock, I first go to the gym. Honestly, this gym is kinda tough. A Poliwhirl with Drizzle is some shit. The Vulpix made this fight a lot more easier, but I can only imagine how difficult it can be without the Vulpix and if you were underleveled. Now it's time to handle Brock. It's a double battle and he has most of the Pokemon that he got in the anime. I like double battles more, so this is actually pretty fun for me. God damn, he got cooked. He disappears and starts looking for Entei. I go back to heal and I come back and I'm greeted by a rival battle. A rival battle? After a double battle with 6 Pokemon? The placements for this and so many other rival battles are so horrendous. If I didn't go back to heal just off of muscle memory alone, I would've got smoked. Never mind, I still got smoked. After all that, up the path is a bunch of thugs. Most of their Pokemon are level 23 to 25 and you have to battle them all. At the end of the path is the dude V. Remember him? He gives you an Ultra Ball for beating all the grunts because your dad gave him something as well. A lifetime of suffering.
Bo ho ho, nigga.
Also, Ultra Ball? I don't know if this is supposed to be disrespectful for the narrative of the story or the creator actually thought that this was a good reward. Just like the last 10 guys, I washed them. The main character asks where the dad is, but instead of answering your question, he starts talking about his backstory. Apparently, your dad left him for dead years ago. That's cool and all, but I didn't ask for that.
Bo ho ho, nigga.
After that fiesta, I come across the one and only jobber, Ash himself. He came here to save Brock, who's inside the cave. He then gives us a boat ticket for no reason. Atlantic Cave is just another generic Pokemon cave, it's nothing special in it. Goodbye is a Garchomp after the second gym, by the way. At the end of the cave, you spot Ash and Charizard battling Brock and his Entei. Now where have I seen this before? Laughing maniacally, by the way, corny dialogue aside, you battle the Entei. The Entei starts to talk to the player and tells him that they need to awaken Arceus in order to stand a chance against the forces of evil. Arceus was sealed away before the events of the game, I think. That's why you were chosen? What makes this one trainer different from anyone else that has the same passion and drive? To be fair, there's like 3 chosen ones in this story, but I'm not the one to be into this chosen one mumbo jumbo wingding shit. I'd rather the narrative just be that you're on this quest to find your missing dad rather than this chosen one wingding. You'll find you dad will be going now. This error is kind of funny because I can see why it happened. The Q was next to the W on the keyboard. She was probably in a rush to finish up the scene or something and didn't even realize the mistake was even there. After all that, it's a Roma path and it's raining again. It's raining again because there's a thunderous in the area, which the player mistakes for a tornadoes, the same tornadoes you fought in the beginning of the game. No battle, surprisingly, that's a first. The thunderous just moves out of the way, which reveals a path to a bunker. In the bunker, there's a trainer at the end of it, and that trainer is none other than Giovanni. Apparently, he was gonna rebuild Team Rocket, but then the forces of evil came out of nowhere and took control of the most powerful Pokemon he had, Mewtwo.
No way, that Pokemon can't be real.
As far as I know in anime lore, only the key characters know what a Mewtwo is. How in the hell does anybody else even know this Pokemon exists? Now get a load of this. Because of Daruk's checking to see darkness in him, he awakened the dark power to mind control anyone, and if you beat him in a battle, he will tell you about his Grandmaster plan. I want to note that nothing in the narrative is stopping him from taking over your mind as far as I know.
Y'all already know the rules, so we ain't gonna waste no time on that.
It's an extra battle, so it's completely optional and plays no role in the story. I think it's better to say it's a super boss, cause what the fuck is that? I still only have 2 badges and a Garchomp, by the way. This pacing is dog shit slow. Finally, you reach the next town and you see Pete. Apparently, his dad is cool with him going anywhere as long as he's there to supervise him. The main character starts to think about their dad after seeing Pete's dad being so supportive. All jokes aside, this could have been a really good moment for the character narrative-wise. Your friend having a dad with him every step of the way to support him even in the roughest of times, meanwhile you're on your own in this world that expects you to save it. The main character even says they don't even want to do all this extra crap. It's a lot of pressure for a kid to go through at the end of the day. Hell, even an adult would crack under all this pressure. You don't get anything out of this chosen one wingding besides the burden of just saving the world. It's just a shame that the rest of the game's flat writing and corny dialogue bogs down the potential good parts that could have came from this. Anyways, I washed him. Next to him is this house that teleports you somewhere else entirely. Apparently, you got transported to the Circle of Life. The lady in the front is named Taria, and she claims to be the creator. Alongside her is this simp named Paul, who simps for no one else but Arceus. Holy shit. She talks about you and your rival being the chosen ones and utter wingding, whatever, man. At the end of it, she gives you the ability to see spirits. In reality, all she did was give you a silk scope. The simp also gives you a Victini afterwards because you're the chosen one. Fun fact, if you walk in this house again, the same script plays and you get another Victini, which gives me the opportunity to talk about a glitch that you will probably use to grind in this whole entire game. A lot of scripts in this game don't disappear at all. If you walk back to the event after leaving and doing something else, the event will play again in awkward fashion. A few items in this game are also bugged in the same way, so you could get unlimited amounts of certain items. There's a point in the game that I got 99 pearls and sold them all for cash. I didn't care about any kind of money through the entire playthrough after that. You can say that abusing these bugs and glitches ruined the game, however this game is so grindy and so unfair, you might as well not pull any punches.
Holy fuck is this wrong?
Down the line you see the roadblock named Dre. He drops some lore saying that the main character's dad beat Ash some time ago and that Ash is not all that. Damn, even as a champion, Ash is still a jobber. I don't know how many more times I gotta say this, but if we beat him, he's gonna tell us something.
Bring it on.
Not gonna lie, his team is kinda dangerous. Granted, I swept them, but having a full party instead of doing what I'm doing right now would probably make this hell. You'd be massively underloaded. He starts to talk about a team named Dark Rising.
He said it! He said it!
Apparently, the main character's dad was in the team. Their goal was to stop all evil in the world. Man, what the fuck? Dre says that his dad was the leader of the group, which explains why he knew about the player. The leader thing might be headcanon though, not gonna lie. Which begs the question, how come the player doesn't know anything about this?
I don't know.
Who knows? You'll never get the answer anyways.
Not in the history books because they were a secret group or organization.
Secret group or organization, by the way.
I'm not entirely sure.
My man's is legit making his own headcanon right now. He doesn't even know if it was a secret group or organization. He just put both. Better to be safe than sorry, I guess. Why even write any of that shit? In and out the cave, you spot Professor Ivan. He has reasons to be in this cave, but it really doesn't fucking matter. He starts to tell you something about the Jewel of Life, which actually disappeared a long time ago, but someone at Mystic Falls probably knows about it. Oh, you thought that was it? You really thought that you could talk to a major NPC in this game without a battle?
Oh shit. Here we go again.
His team is scary as fuck. The Leafeon's whatever because grass moves are special in this game and Leafeon's like a physical attacker. But the Snorlax, Slacking, and Bronzong are problems. I thought I was gone when it started doing Calm Mind. Dragon's considered special in this game and I can't hit it with ground moves because it has Levitate. It's getting really tough to try and sweep with one Pokemon. I'm at the point where I have to start investing in one or two other Pokemon. Not much of a problem since I still have the Vulpix. I didn't invest in it yet, so I might as well now. After that, you would never guess what happened next. Another rifle battle. What else would it be at this point? The character reasonably tells her to back off, but it's no use. She goes on a rant about neck and tonsils while I'm just mashing A because I just want the battle to start already. At this point, that's like 4 trainer boss battles, 5 if you battle the NPC in Aroma Town, and I still only have 2 badges by the way. This pacing is constipated as fuck, this shit's terrible. This is the first time that you will see leftovers in a major battle, and it will not be the last. It's not a big deal, it's just really obnoxious at times. I wish more battles in general had Pokemon with hold items. Moves like Knockoff and Thief will be more useful in the main games and will feel a lot more rewarding to hit someone with if they had a held item. I like the idea, but you can't give everyone the same thing. Give this person leftovers, give this person a citrus berry, give this person a magnet. Anything to help the variety of the items that you could get or knock off. Her team compared to the last battle is not much to comment on. Down the way you see the professor again and he's with another professor. He starts to rip into the main character. Instead of your dad destroying Tarugas, he sealed him instead, which is now a mistake that everyone's suffering for. All this arguing makes you end up in a Pokemon battle. Dead body glitch? To be honest, I think this might be a normal Fire Red glitch and not a Dark Rising glitch, but either way it's kinda funny. It just sits there. You can't do anything with it and they don't target it, so it's whatever. Plus 4 Garchomp versus Wobbuffet. This shit's mine.
Oh no!
Ah shit, never mind. After that terrible display of calculations, I enter Mystic Falls. Most of the NPC dialogue here is out there. That's a Pokedex.
How do you know?
I worked with Elm.
Wow.
The gym is blocked off because the evil team is here trying to take over the town. You gotta go down to the boat and battle V again. At this point, I only have 2 Pokemon that I'm leveling up. It's all I need for now, but that can't last for too long. The boss team is cool looking, but I can't really comment on the fight because I swept them. So other than saying it's cool, there's not much I could say about the fight because he didn't get to do anything. I think for the sake of balance and a good time, you should avoid giving your player moves like Nasty Plot and Sword Stance, unless it's a double battle oriented game. I think these moves are too strong for normal playthroughs, and will make most of the Pokemon game pretty trivial. You can say to just avoid using these moves for the challenge, but if you have to limit the tools to use in the game to have fun or a challenge out of the game, the shit speaks for itself. And in this ROM hack, you're gonna need the cheap shit, trust me. Remember, don't pull any punches. Apparently the ship is starting to sink and the only way to stop it from sinking is to stop the source of evil, whatever that means. A lot of old ROM hacks tend to use the same events from the original game just with different dialogue.
Power attack! Crack shield! Rising down! Alright! Power kick! Down! Hey! Cow! Hey you! Are you okay? Rising back water!
You save her and she goes on this rant talking about how the only reason she lost was because she saw a vision of 2 Pokemon and that something awakened inside her. Nice option select by the way. Now it's time to fight the gym leader and it's actually an outdoor gym. It's a pretty cool idea for the time, not gonna lie. I think it had invisible walls as well, but I can't remember since the footage was captured like weeks to months ago. This is the third gym and she has level 50 Pokemon. This is another battle I could sweep under the rug. From your perspective, this game probably looks easy, but I assure you it's not. It only looks this easy because I knew what to do beforehand. This next route was probably a good start for something that I wanted from every other route before this one. Good level NPCs. Their Pokemon levels are around 46, 4 levels off from the gym leader. This is actually pretty good, since a lot of the game NPC levels tend to be much more lower than the boss fights and gym leaders. However, I'm not even halfway through this game and the levels are already this high. This pacing is a mess. You go into the cave and after a lot of juking and jiving, you finally find V. He's relishing in the fact that he can possibly make the earth a living hell. The main character says that they know their dad wouldn't abandon someone and that they just maybe didn't have enough time to save him? Wait, so now you know your dad? A better way to probably write this out would be something along the lines of the fact that the MC doesn't know their dad that much at all, but on this journey they learned that he's probably a good man. He's not trying to listen to the real talk though, but he has a good reason why. If he loses to you again, he's gonna lose his soul to
Tampa, Florida.
You leave me no choice? Same team as last time, same wash load. He starts to scream out in pain and cries out for someone to avenge him. The game felt the need to tell us that he turned to stone and that his soul was drifting to the Shadow Realm. Right outside the cave is 2 kids and one of them winning the battle. Pulls out bag of popcorn. They're the kids of other members from the Dark Avengers, Dark Rising, and they come from the Sinnoh region. And of course, one of them would like to battle you because you can't talk to a major NPC without a Pokemon battle.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
As usual, I got smoked. He started with the eel, and I'm not gonna lie, that fucked up my opening so bad. After that battle, they start to tell you about some kids that got kidnapped in a town called Salem. Salem? Jeez, I wonder what kind of town it will be. I finally get to Salem and it looks like any other town. At least put some fog over the town or something creepy. Most of the town's NPCs talk about the missing kids, so at least they fit the world making in this game. I wish this was a section in the game where that talking to the NPCs matter. Maybe a thing like the more you talk to the NPCs, the more hints you get about where the kids are, and then you gotta find the missing kids.
Now that's quality.
You can't go to the left because it's blocked off. The only way you could go is south. You don't really need to talk to the NPCs, which is the reason why I brought up that little side quest in the first place. You know, give some more flair to the game. Maybe make it so that the fog in the area down south also decreases your accuracy. Who knows? It would have been fun. After you beat a few trainers, there's a man at the end of the path and he's surrounded by a bunch of children. His name is Light and he comes from a line of people that knows the legend of Arceus. He's big mad because he basically didn't have a life of his own. He was forced to devote his whole life to a legend. It's edgy but interesting, and it's one of the few plot points in this game that could actually go somewhere, if it wasn't written so bad.
Dark Pokemon is summoned to light side.
I'm not gonna lie, this boss fight is pretty tough. He starts the fight with a T-Tar and it has leftovers. It's nothing a Garchomp can't handle, but I did lose a chunk of my life due to unfortunate circumstances.
Oh my god.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
To be clear, I think the idea of a boss Pokemon is cool as shit. Total Pokemon and Sun and Moon games gave an aspect that's been missing in Pokemon games since the beginning, and that's boss battles. And I'm not talking about like legend battles or evil team battles.
I ain't talking about that week.
I'm talking about some like good old JRPG battles. However, despite what someone in my chat said,
Why the fuck you lying?
so what is this thing? Story-wise, this guy has the ability to make his own Pokemon. Sounds dumb, but it makes sense in a way since he comes from a line of people that knows more about Arceus than anyone else. He got the power from Darugas though, but I can see the parallel. Oh, and it has Wonder Guard. So even if you didn't care about what this thing was, now you're forced into a scenario to at least find out what typing it has. It took me a bit to figure out what it was. It looked like a dragon, but it's not a dragon. It ends up being a fire dart type, which is high-key hard to figure out just by looking at it. It doesn't even follow the color palette of most other fire dart Pokemon to even have an educated guess on the matter. Not that it has to follow suit, but it looks like everything else but. You can see dark, maybe, but fire? I don't even mind the Pokemon though. It was cool to fight it while trying to figure out what type it was on stream. Definitely one of the more fun experiences in this game. Shall I escort them home? Sure, let me just let the missing person cases just walk on home on their own. To be fair, I think this is a gag, so I'll let it slide. Up to this point, I have not really spoken on most of the routes between, and that's mostly because there's not much to say about them. They're routes with a quota of Pokemon types to be filled in, and just random grass patches all over the place. Majority of them just look so messy and just not pleasant on the eyes. When I first started making this video, I wanted to speak on most of the things in this game, but I realized that if I speak on everything in this game, this video would end up being like an hour and a half to 2 hours. Honestly, this game is so long and there's so much in it that is damn near worthless, mostly because the storytelling is just not good and the pacing is not good at all. I feel like at this point I covered the majority of the problems in this ROM hack. If I was to cover the ROM hack anymore, it would make the video sound pretty repetitive. The only thing I'll cover at this point is the endgame of this game. I think I can afford to give you that kind of closure. I'm gonna be frank, this endgame sucks. This shit is so ridiculously hard, it's crazy, and I can't see how people can beat this with just like regular Pokemon. You need legends for this shit. First off, the Victory Road is nothing but a rematch with all the gym trainers mind controlled or some shit like that. They all have like 5-6 man teams of their type. Shit takes forever, it's not fun stuff. After that is of course the Elite Four, and this shit is no good. The first trainer is pretty easy because I had a Durant, however, she did have a Cresselia, which is a bad omen for things to come. The second guy is harder than the person that comes after this one in the neck, and that's all because of one Pokemon he has, Regigigas. This shit does not have slow start. It is infuriating fighting this thing. Look at the stats of this motherfucker and tell me this shit is fair. Every time it comes out, it one-shots every Pokemon I have except Garchomp, and Garchomp barely lived. I have to open this fight with Garchomp, hope he lives after 2 or 3 swords dance, and try to sweep his team. If I do not kill Regigigas in one hit, it's over. The third and fourth part, not much to comment on for the most part. It's the same deal. Throw out Garchomp or Durant and swords dance like crazy. The only difference is that if I make a mistake with the dude with Regigigas, it was over. If I make a mistake here, I can still make a comeback. I don't think Dialga and Popular are nearly as dangerous as Regigigas is. However, the champion is a whole different story. This shit is damn near impossible. I cannot see myself beating this, and I'm pretty much done with this shit for the most part. They start off with a Mewtwo that can do Calm Mind off rip in the start of the fight. I don't know what to do about a Mewtwo Calm Minding in my face. I can't even kill it in one hit with X's or Durant. In fact, it takes like 4 hits to kill it. And it's faster than me. It's faster than my Ludicolo in the rain. If I somehow, someway manage to kill Mewtwo, which is no small feat, that shit is damn near impossible with the Pokemon I have now. The next Pokemon usually just ends the game, and I have no answer to it. It's Shadow Lugia. This thing is absurdly stupid, all because of one move, Dark Chaos. This move one-shots my entire team except Garchomp. Even when Garchomp lives, it guarantees a poison status effect on the Pokemon it hits, so it one-shots me anyway. I don't even know what typing this Pokemon is. I think it's a Dark type since I can't Zen Headbutt it. It might be Ghost, I'm not entirely sure. It's not flying, that's for sure. And I have no clue how you're supposed to beat this legitimately. The only way I see people beat it on YouTube is by stalling with Toxic, but that's about it. They also use legendary Pokemon to get through the Elite Four easier. I think doing this with just regular Pokemon is not the way. It's damn near impossible unless I use a stall tactic. So, I know what you're thinking. Is this ROM hack worth playing? Even though you just saw all the trials and tribulations and the troubles I had to go through. Well, the answer is quite complicated and a bit nuanced. If you're just looking for Pokemon battles and content for the sake of Pokemon battles and content, this might be for you. If you're interested in the personal growth of the creator from their humble beginnings to where they are now, that might be another reason to see how much they improved over the years of ROM hacking and making games and whatnot. Personally, I can't recommend this ROM hack. I feel as if the game is too shallow for the most part. The story is shallow, the map is shallow, the gameplay is shallow, the writing is shallow, and there's so much of it as well. It's not really a polished ROM hack for the most part. I commend the amount of effort it took to put this all together because there's just a lot of it. And the amount of effort it took to make put all those sprites in the game from 5th gen Pokemon and 4th gen Pokemon, you know, that kind of thing takes effort, especially back in like 2011, 2012, where that ROM hacking was still pretty much in its infancy for the most part. So at the end of the day, I have a lot of respect for the creator and the team members that helped make this ROM hack. I know it wasn't easy, and back in 2011, 2012, people were still getting a hang of like how to make these kind of things in the first place anyways. So you can't really blame them for it. For a first try, this is actually pretty decent, all things considered. Personally, I look forward to playing the rest of the Dark Rising games, not for the story per se, but I think I'm too invested at this point with the team and the creator on like their personal growth on making these games at this point, and I would like to see where that took them. Listen, hey, if you got this far, thank you so much. I highly appreciate it. Think of this part as a blooper reel right now. There's a couple things that I saw while doing my research that I thought was like pretty funny for the most part, and I'm gonna share it. This is off script, this is off the dome for the most part. I'm just freestyling right now. The first thing I want to bring up is when I was looking up something for Garchomp, this old forum from 2008 popped up, and this forum was pretty much about Garchomp. I think about banning him and whatnot, how broken he is at the time. There's this dude in the thread, his name was Windscar, and like everyone's discussing like you know, should they ban him, should they not, why is he bannable, why is he not. So this contrarian here, because pretty much everybody was like, a majority of people were in agreement that Garchomp's broken as fuck. Some people were not. I'm like 50-50. I thought Garchomp was like stupid good, and like I get the fact that like most people had to like make teams to counter Garchomp. I feel like he could have just stayed around, but that's just me. But I knew how bullshit he was for the most part. I'm not a person that's usually on like the bandwagon of banning things, because these people didn't think that he was broken. I thought he was broken, but I just didn't want him banned. These guys didn't think he was broken enough to be banned. Point is though, this guy is just like, you're all trying to counter Garchomp, and that's why you fail and get owned by it. Damn, I have not seen that fucking word in years. Garchomp got no counters, but it can be stopped anytime if you just put your shameless brain to work and act like a true player. Holy shit, shameless brain. Damn. Yo. Yo, people in forums used to go stupid on people. This man legitimately just sitting there like, you guys are morons. This is how you do it. So, after having that grand display, someone came up and challenged him and said, so, if you want to talk reckless like that, how do you suggest it be killed? And my man's replied, figure it. I can't even. Oh, I can't even. The man straight up said, figure it by yourself. Holy shit. Ooh. How can you say so much and just be safe? You guys are idiots. You don't know how to fight this thing. I used to just fight. Figure it out, idiot. What the fuck? I cannot sit here and waste my brain power to teach your brain. You're more. The audacity for you to ask me how you kill Garchomp. Get the fuck out of my face. Yeah. Dude, why even say this shit? Just say you don't know. Don't fucking idiot.